Welcome back everyone. Today is a sneak peek of what's been going on the PTS. If you have not paid attention so far, the Deadlands is coming up very soon, and hybridization is going to be a thing properly. Before, it's been a choice and it's been very difficult and you had to think really hard to make it happen, but the new update finally is consolidating all base stats apart from flat stamina and magicka and health to make sure that we can use whatever we like. If you built for stamina in the past, you'd have stamina, weapon damage, and any magicka stuff would basically be weaker because you didn't have the stats for it. Then, of course, if you wanted to go full magicka, you would be magicka, spell damage, all that good stuff, spell crit, etc. And again, if you introduced any stamina stuff, that would be weaker. Well, not anymore. So yes, that was a full-out hybrid. That is actually stamina and magicka built because flat stats have been consolidated. As you can see there's lots and lots of bonuses to our spell-based abilities, including Wall of Elements, even Balkan Scoria, which can now crit. Then our stamina stuff, Rally, and all the rest of it is going really high. And what did I use? Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Did I stack all the stam sets? Did I stack the mag sets? No, I combined them both. This is Balkan Scoria, Sororia, Reliquin, Dual Wield, and a Flame Staff all at once. The penetration across the board is the same because the stats are equal. The spell damage and weapon damage is very close, although the weapon damage is a bit higher because of our jewelry stats, and everything else balances out. It's really good what you are going to be able to do with a Deadlands DLC. No longer do you have to look at something as a mag or a stam set. Now you just need to decide which one of the two stats you want to boost the most, while having a good balance of both of them regardless, at the same time as deciding which weight should you use for armor based on the traits or passives. That's all it is. Weight is important, passives are important. Flat stats are not that hard to consolidate or mix together now to get what you want out of your build. You can build however you like. For those of you that are familiar with Murder of Fire, yes, that has been somewhat of fire and poison for a long time, but it's mostly stam sets. For those of you that are familiar with Burn, obviously that was a fire-based build and it was mostly magic sets. This is actually Murder of Fire and Burn combined. They are now one build. Obviously this isn't a finished product and this is just a testing scenario to show you what you could get. No, this is obviously not 150k DPS cheesed demonstration with loads of broken stuff that you're very aware of is broken. This is a flat demonstration of what you can actually do a lot easier than you ever could before. Now, here's the thing. If you were looking at stats and sets and assuming that mag or stam is the only way to go with that particular set, everything just changed. Because if you look at some of this stuff here, the Reliquin stuff, the crit is for both magic and physical. If you look at Sororia, the spell damage and weapon damage is now both. It's not just spell damage, it's both. So anything that you want to use now that has crit, weapon or spell damage, or penetration, carry both stats. Obviously, your jewelry is still an issue. You'll have to make sure you make a choice as to which one you want to focus more towards. But at the end of the day, you can still use both very effectively. Now, obviously, this is only the first week of testing. We've got several weeks to go. Yeah, we got the PTS quite early as well because of the sheer impact that this is going to make on the game. And there's a lot of things to consider. But just at the front of your mind right now, look at all the different sets, or just even think about some of the sets that you thought you might like the look of, but never really got to work, and now consider the fact that they are both weapon and spell damage, weapon and spell crit, weapon and spell pen. Literally anything goes. The only thing you need to really consider is the weight. That also applies to proc sets as well, because they do either physical or magic type damage, but remember, your stats allow for both. And yes, they can now crit. Critting proc sets brings up the balance for those of you that have heavy proc builds, and it brings down too much impact on raw skills from crit damage, because crit damage was reduced as well. So it's a middle area now for both. You want to stack a nice bonus or balance of the two, and everything will line up nicely. Too high into one or too high into another is no longer a thing. It's a case of how do you want to build for you. It's always been the design, and now it's ever so much more a real thing. So hopefully that helped, and of course, thank you all very, very much for watching. I hugely appreciate the support. If you are not subscribing, please hit that button. It is free, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, of course, so you can keep up to date with the new videos. Also, if you want to help support outside the channel, there are some links in the info section for XynodeGaming.com, the website. There's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. And don't forget, of course, the world's highest performing Elder Scrolls Online Patreon page, which will give you direct access to the private and, of course, safe community Discord for Xynode Gaming as well. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.